They struggle to take responsibility and accountability and ownership for their mistakes. They don't often admit that they've made any mistakes, but if something goes wrong or someone else says, hey, it really hurt my feelings when you do this, they struggle very much to say the words, I'm sorry. That would be an admission of guilt. They don't like to focus on the ways in which they could get better. They could use their opportunities to learn and develop and grow. They kind of see themselves as sort of finished products already. And so it's really difficult for them to say, gosh, I made a mistake, I let you down, I can see that what I did was very hurtful, because they sort of have this very kind of rigid approach of themselves as well. I need to be perfect. A lot of them have fixed mindsets, as Carol Dweck would call it. With that, they tend to blame other people for their problems. And so if there's some sort of a disagreement or conflict, they tend to say it's your fault. It's everybody's fault, but theirs. Their spouse's fault, their children's fault, their siblings' fault, their coworkers' fault. They're always pointing the finger externally to themselves. Oh, this didn't happen well. This wasn't the way that I wanted. Well, it's because of, somebody external or something external to me. And when you call them on it and sort of say, no, this was really, you could have done a better job, they again get very dysregulated. It's very hard for them to hear that. One final symptom or thing you'll notice with narcissists is that they really struggle with disappointment. If something didn't go as expected or as planned, or they just feel let down or hurt, they have a very difficult time processing that. They don't really deal with disappointment well. They don't feel that they should ever be disappointed. Life should just work out and go their way. So to recap again, things you'll notice, an over-exaggeration of their own importance, them feeling like they're the star of the show, a kind of wanting them to be talking about themselves, their accomplishments mattering, a lack of empathy, them playing the victim a lot, feeling special, thinking that they're entitled, that rules should be broken for them, blaming other people, pointing outside themselves for fault, not wanting to take ownership, accountability, or say that they're sorry, not really viewing their mistakes or failings as good things and wanting to work on it, very rigid view of the world and their own beliefs, them feeling that those are the right ways of looking at it. So if you see all of those things and a lot of them together, you very likely are dealing with a narcissist. But we can all be a little selfish or self-absorbed at times, or we want credit for certain things. We want people to notice us. And that, within check or appearing periodically, is a very normal thing. But when you see these symptoms that I just outlined day after day, over and over again, that's where potentially you're dealing with someone that exhibits narcissistic tendencies, perhaps even somebody that has NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. And then I encourage you to read up on it and decide how to handle it. One thing I will tell you is that a lot of narcissists were raised by narcissists. They didn't just develop into a narcissist out of nowhere. Typically people that were emotionally abused because they had a narcissistic parent, they developed the disorder and the symptoms themselves. And so if you can try to exhibit a little bit of empathy for someone that shows these tendencies and figure out where it comes from, that can be helpful, knowing that they just didn't decide one day they wanted to be that way, but they learned these behaviors in childhood from a parent that also acted that way. Something else to keep in mind, narcissists don't like to be told anything is wrong with them, so it's very hard to help a narcissist see how they're coming off and to get them help. Usually what's said is you don't tell a narcissist that they're a narcissist. You don't call them a narcissist because they don't respond well to that. That's why a lot of experts recommend low contact or no contact. Again, that can be tough with a family member, someone that's pretty close to you. And so if you want to talk more about these things, I'd be happy to. I'd love to. Very passionate about this topic. But that's a little bit of a look at narcissism as I understand it for you today. With that, I hope everybody is making a great day.